Cormac. How's it going?
I don't know. You know what I did? I did a mistake today. I I have some rosemary, and there's no oil in the alacrine.
Rosemary.
Alacrine, okay?
Oh, okay.
And there's no oil in it really. So I just kind of washed it out and I put it in my cup of water. But it's really strong. Like it feels like there's nothing in here, but when I put it in my water, it's like oh, it's like poison.
Um,
I water. I think
how
I'm
does
getting.
it taste? What's the taste like?
I don't know how to describe it. Alacrine. It's like a really fresh smell. Like
Yeah.
maybe when you smell pine. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I love Ala cream or rosemary. It's brilliant. It's some I have it outside in my garden, and I always had it in Ireland as well. And sometimes you can put it on
Yeah, I think
roast
I also have here in my garden,
and
in my
put in.
house.
So it's actually good for your brain and for your mind to wake it up. So you can rub a little bit on your hand or smell it like this, and it will go straight to your brain and wake it up. That's why
Yeah.
I told you I have my essential oils for that reason: peppermint and Ala cream.
But you
But
can use also use the plant, like grab some
yeah,
leaves and just
that's what you do.
from your hand
That's why I
and
have it outside. Yeah, I used to do that in Ireland, and it's stronger because the plant is fresh outside, and you can put it on some meat as well, and you can also make it on. You can put it in water. Like you can actually boil it. Like you boil the water and put the
like
alacin
a tea,
afterwards. Yeah,
almost like a tea.
like a tea, and it's
Okay.
refreshing and it's good for your brain and
Yeah.
memory.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, but it's strong.
Perhaps I'm gonna need a tea today because tomorrow I'm gonna run my first marathon.
Ooh, the whole thing. You're gonna run it or walk it.
Yeah. Uh, I'm planning on running the whole thing. Perhaps like finishing on 4 hours and something, you
Oh,
know.
you got a time limit? You think you can do it? Or you will be disappointed if you don't make your time.
Yeah, but I think 4 hours, like in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, it's something that it's achievable, you know.
Sure, but I always think if it's your first marathon, your achievement should be just finishing. That should be the goal,
Yeah,
And then your
I
second
would like
marathon, you
to
think
finish
it's
in
time.
this time, but my mainly goal is just to finish, you know.
Yeah, that's
Try
the
to
best
not
way.
break during the last miles and just cross the finish line, you know.
And
Because
is it in Sao Paulo,
yeah, it's here in São Paulo. It's the
main marathon?
no, it's an international marathon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's the principal marathon.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's the
Do you
name.
need to do time trials to get into that? I don't know how it works because in certain places you
Yes,
can't go.
because when you're subscribing to the race, you actually need to put on a time that you will probably finish around because it will everyone will live on waves, you know. So the first
Okay,
waves are from the elite
of course, but how can they measure that? This is kind of the
because
problem.
they divide on the subscription. So you put like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna finish around three
yeah,
hours and some.
yeah, but my point is, you're choosing, not them. This is the problem, because someone could say,
Yeah,
someone you could probably say, Nicholas, I want to be in the elite group, and let's pretend you're the
yeah,
top.
but I think there are some requirements like
That's what I mean. That's why I was wondering, how do they
I
measure
think
that?
you, for example, if we're going to race on the elite, I think you need to have at least other marathons or other
Yeah, you have to prove who
races
you
and
are.
have a
Okay,
certificate,
that's
you
what I
know,
mean. Yeah.
something like that. I really don't know, but I think it's something like that.
Okay, but anyone can enter the race at the marathon. You just say you
Yeah,
want to be last. Okay,
yeah.
I can't remember how it works.
They just ask you some questions like if you have any health issues, like cardiac issues
Yeah.
or uh, for of the lungs, pulmonar, and something like that, because you need to be, you know, at least healthy and trained
Sure,
to
of
complete the
course.
race.
But I'm pretty sure even if you want to enter the Boston Marathon, for example, in America, they said you can't enter it. You have to actually be some sort of an elite, not the
Yeah,
best, but you have
yeah,
to prove.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I
you have to
mean,
prove.
I think you have to do a marathon and
Yeah, another one before to qualify.
yeah,
Like you have to say you've
to
done the
qualify
Cincinnati.
within a certain time limit, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. That's what I mean. So you have to say you've done the Cincinnati Marathon or another marathon, and then you have to be in a time limit, and then you can do the Boston Marathon.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
that's
if there's a New
correct.
York one as well, maybe there's higher rankings. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy doing a marathon. I can't run for a very long time. I think I do hurt my knees, and I don't know, I just get bored. I don't like it. It just feels weird. But if someone told me I could walk a
Well,
marathon, I'd be fine. I'd have
it
no
is
problem.
very difficult, you know. I think the longest time that I ran when training, it was almost 4 hours, like 3 hours and a half. I ran a little bit more than 30 kilometers, but and I was like destroyed because
Oh,
the day before, when I trained, I already ran like 12, 13 kilometers, and then the next day I ran this 30 kilometers uh, with a friend, and I was simply destroyed.
yeah, I
I
can imagine.
I just to walk on the street, my legs would hurt a lot. Just aching.
Of course, that's not good though either.
So I don't know how it will it be on the marathon, but I think at least the final kilometers I can hold on.
Yeah, we'll see. See if you'll
We'll see.
make sure someone takes a picture of you at the end, dying.
Yeah,
I made it. I made it. Yeah,
yeah,
when I was doing my swimming lessons this week and the last week, they're making us do more laps. Go
yeah.
back and forth, back and forth. But it was funny. I made a mistake, and I thought we had to do. She asked us to do like the not the butterfly, the breaststroke, the freestyle,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
the backstroke, and that was considered one. Okay, but I thought it was one was the whole length, back and forth,
Okay.
but it was only halfway. So I was doing double the amount of the other students. And I was like, when they did five, I actually did 11 at the same time. And we were only supposed to do five, but I actually thought we had to do
Wow.
15 because I didn't know it was a half of
You're
each
almost
one.
an Aquaman.
Yeah, double, double. Yeah, well, I can't swim very well. These are all the basic swimmers, right? So I'm
Okay.
faster than them, but I did it. But I wasn't tired. That was what was funny. After doing it, I
No,
was like,
that's
okay,
nice.
I was ready to do more.
Um, I want to start swimming and riding a bike. I want to buy a new bike, a new one, because I want to start
Triathlon.
training for duathlon.
Yeah, triathlon, isn't it? You said
Yes,
duathlon.
triathlon, it's when you also swim. I'm not
Okay.
planning on swimming already
Ah,
because here near my house there are not a lot of gyms that have swimming pools,
sure,
and the ones that has it's very expensive. Very very
sure.
expensive.
And triathlons have to be outside also, right? That's any across a river, across a lake. I think that'd be more
Yeah,
dangerous in Brazil just because you snakes or something will come and get
yeah,
you
there
in
are
the
the
water.
Ironmans.
Yeah, but that's what an Ironman is, isn't it? Ironman is a triathlon, isn't it? Or is it
It's
something else?
4 kilometers of swimming, 180 of riding the bike, and then you run a marathon for
Okay. Oh,
finish.
then a marathon. Okay, that's yeah. So it is kind of a triathlon, but just really, really long.
Yeah.
It's one. Okay.
Then also you have like a half an Ironman, a third of an Ironman.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, I've listened to people doing those. I guess the guy, Dave Goggins, the book, he did that, right? Was he Iron Man
I
or not?
think he made an Ultraman.
Oh,
It's
what?
like two
Okay.
Ironmans
Oh,
in a row.
wow. Crazy. Well, he's insane. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
listening to Ben Greenfield. He would do the Iron Man, and a lot of people do the Iron Man. Yeah, I can't do that. Well, I couldn't swim before, so now I can
Yeah.
just about swim.
I even saw a guy that he made an Ironman in Antarctica.
Oh,
Then he called he was the first one to do it.
how
So
did
he
he
called this
swim?
Iceman.
Like, oh yeah, like Wim Hof. It was Wim Hof doing it.
Yeah, but he made the full Ironman, but in Antarctica. He swam in the frozen lakes of
Ooh,
Antarctica. Then
uh,
he ride a bike in
on
the
Antarctica without roads. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't.
Okay,
It's just craziness.
yeah, I guess everyone tries something new, right? Just to see what works. You want to test your limits. Mm, I don't know.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds like
I think he's like he's an athlete, so he needs to do those kind of things to call attention.
of course, I think everyone does. Everyone wants to do something new and different, I guess. I saw people playing volleyball where they were allowed to bounce the ball and it was a big massive court. I've never seen that before because people are inventing new sports. It's like
Yeah,
frisbee or disco. It was frisbee golf, and then they made frisbee on an American football pitch. So you have to get to the other side. It was really interesting. I was like,
yeah,
wow, people just invent new games. That reminds me, I'm going to my game today. I got the final.
yeah.
Got my ticket. Ah, it's not a very nice. It's such an ugly ticket. They rip it off.
Looks like Santos.
Yeah, it does actually. That's not. That's
Who made
actually.
Santos?
It looks like Santos, but that's not Santos. That's Capivariano. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
so
okay.
the C,
Oh,
and there is not black.
yeah.
There actually isn't black and white. Their crest is red and white.
Yeah.
That's Primavera's crest. It's ECP.
Wow, very cool.
But I went to this. I ran there on Wednesday. They were selling. The tickets sold out online, so I
Yeah.
went to the stadium to buy on Wednesday. And I went to the stadium, and there was a massive queue. I was around 15th person from the
Wow.
Caixa, and they closed it. And they said, "We're not selling any more tickets today." And I was like, "Why? There's a massive queue." Everyone got really angry because of this reason. So it's really weird in this stadium. You know, it's normally first come, first served. But
Yeah.
they said they had a lottery, I guess it's an allotment in English, a lottery, I don't know, of only allocating 1,300 tickets per day. So after the
Wow.
1,300 tickets were sold, we had to come back. I had to go back the next day
The
and
other
buy the
day.
tickets,
Yeah.
which is really
Wow.
silly. You think that if everyone's queuing up that day, you'd sell the tickets all
Yeah,
in that
of
first day or
course.
the second day. So everyone was just really angry because it's like, why are we wasting our time or energy? We're waiting for an hour and I still didn't get the ticket. But I was thinking I wouldn't have a ticket the next day. So I ran back again. I finished
Yeah.
up early. You know, on Cambly, I had 15 minutes left to work. And I was like, no one's going to call me these 15 minutes. I'll leave the computer on and just run to the stadium. And that's when I ran. I ran to the stadium. And there was no one there. It was surprising. There was only like 10 people in the
Wow.
queue compared to the day
And you got
before.
a
It was
ticket.
massive. And I got a ticket. So the match is on today at
Yes.
3 o'clock. So it should be fun. Well, at least
Yeah.
I like football. And hopefully they win. I don't know.
Yeah, they will win. You know, I've never been to a stadium, you know.
Ah, you know, it makes a massive difference. You see, I always tell people who don't like football, they have to go to the stadium because when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I love football, but when I was a kid, I didn't really like football, only playing it, and I hated watching it
Mhm.
on TV. And then my dad brought me to a football game, and I realized it was completely different in the stadium than on the TV. Because when you're in
For
the
real.
stadium, it's like being in a theater, and you react to the theater. You react to your team scoring a goal, you react to the referee, and everyone's like some people are shouting, some people are insulting, but you get the energy from the supporters.
Yeah,
So
sure.
when your team lose, you get upset. When your team win or they score a goal, you have to jump, right? Because if you don't jump, you look
Yeah,
like an idiot. So you're going to jump, but then you feel the emotions of jumping and you get excited, and that's why I think people love football. It's just a way of releasing your emotions and feelings. And you get all
yeah,
that energy
yeah,
in a
sure.
match. But
Yeah,
it's but it's nicer when you're passionate about a team. So like again, when it was my
yeah.
local team, I'm from Cork. I would
Very
love watching them.
energizing, you know.
Mhm.
It's like when you're seeing a game on TV and when the team scores a goal and you see the camera shaking, you know, it's because
Yeah,
of the all the people in the stadium vibrating,
yeah.
cheering.
Yeah, they feel the goal. You feel the goal. That's what I do too. Even when Primavera was my team, I watch them and then I do feel the goal because I'm jumping with everyone else. So yeah, so I'll still jump and shout when they score. But I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to be all these other guys are crazy. All the young
Mm.
kids, that's how they're learning all the palavroins. They're in the stadium. Vai tomorrow, cool. And then they'll see it's the ref is a female and it's like, oh, me da so cool. It's like, what the hell? They're like a 12-year-old shouting this out. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
learning.
That's the problem about bringing kids to the stadium, you know.
Yeah, they kind of learn a bit of the violence, I think, too. Yeah, it's a bit of a
Yeah.
problem.
And there's also many cases where it happened like fights between the crowds, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it's a huge problem in Brazil. It doesn't happen in Ireland because Ireland's small and our league isn't very
Yeah.
big, so we don't have that fighting. But it happens. I think I told you before when I went to see Santos play Ponte Preta, and the guy wanted to kill me because I was wearing the jersey. Did I say that too? Some guy, because my wife didn't know. She's like, "Yeah, you can wear your Santos jersey," and it's like, "No, I can't." And then these guys start throwing beer at me, and the
Oh,
beer hit the
yeah.
windscreen of a car. I had to take off the jersey and run to the other side of the stadium. When I got to the other side of the stadium, there was a bunch of criminal Santos supporters start fighting amongst themselves, and then the
What?
police came in and
It's
started hitting
because, just
them.
because of you.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Wow.
Just to entertain me. But the police start hitting them with the batons.
Yeah, that's
So it was
crazy.
really crazy. But now they're banned. So unfortunately, like if I wanted to see Santos playing Campinas, because it'd be the nearest city, I can't because they're banned. Campinas have banned, or like not Campinas, Ponte Preta and Guarani have banned away supporters. So you can't see Palmeiras, Corinthians,
Yeah,
Sao
that's
Paulo, or Santos play.
you get affected because of those stupid decisions, you know.
Yeah, stupid violent
And
supporters. Yeah, it's dumb. They destroy it for everyone because they think about really, if you think about a lot of people in Campinas support Palmeiras or Corinthians, those big teams too, and here in Indaya too, but that's who they support as well. They don't support Ponte Preta or Primavera. They
Yeah,
can't see the matches. It's really
yeah,
unfortunate.
and I think we've talked about this. So here in São Paulo, like each zone has a supporting team, you know. And when you're like near the stadium of Palmeiras, near the Allianz Park, there's like many restaurants, many bars, all green, Palmeiras themed, you know. And if you wear another team jersey or anything similar, it's almost you're gonna get killed, you know. So it's like how can I say? It's you feel like you're just in the enemy's territory, you know.
Yeah, you're in the enemy and they're going to kill. That's what you know. What I just saw a message today from Primavera saying they're going to close the the streets for today's final. They didn't do that for any other matches. They said don't wear any other jersey other than Primavera. So you can't like because some people come in wearing
Wow.
because a lot of people when we watch Primavera, people wear all the jerseys. So I've seen people wear. I've seen. Listen to this last football match, man. A guy was wearing an Irish football team jersey, like a club team from Dublin, which is really crazy because no one even supports this team from Dublin. It was like a special version of a team called Bohemians, and it has Bob Marley on it. It's like the away jersey. There's a picture of
Yeah,
Bob Marley on,
yeah, okay.
and he was wearing that one. But I see people wear because Primavera's colors are similar to Sao Paulo. Some people wear their Sao Paulo jersey, but I've seen people wearing Palmeiras jersey, Corinthians jersey at the match. But they say
Yeah,
don't wear any
no
other
one
jersey.
knew about this club, you know. Yeah,
And that's because my club's small. It's only a small club. Yeah, Primavera tiny. But it says you're not allowed to. And it's like, don't bring your guarda-chuva. Don't bring any bags. Don't bring, you can't bring anything to the
yeah,
stadium.
they do not let you bring anything to the stadium, right?
Yeah, no
Even
bottle.
food,
Yeah,
they
food.
do
Yeah, you have
not.
to ban. You have to throw it out when you're going in and bottles of water. Because I see people going and queuing up. People throw the bottles of water on the ground.
Yeah,
It's like, what are you doing? Because there's no
yeah,
bins.
or
They really
throwing
don't.
bananas, something like
Yeah.
that.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's
that'll be
complicated
later on
because
today.
uh, there are some cases that people like throw
Coins, maybe.
yeah, it's different things. I forgot the name. What is it called again? The thing used to light a cigar.
Oh, Iscara. Yeah, Iscara.
Yeah,
Oh, lighter. We
a
just call them
lighter.
lighters.
It was a
Lighters.
lighter.
Give a lighter. I don't know what the real name is. Do you know what's so funny? Cigarette lighter. I think it's just a cigarette lighter. I think we use the slang. We just say lighter. Iscaro. Isn't the word here?
Yeah,
Okay, maybe that's what they do. Okay, hopefully that won't happen. Actually, one of the few matches I saw in Ireland, one of the first few matches, people invaded the pitch, which is against the law rules as well. But they didn't cause violence; they just ran onto the pitch, the away fans. But in Ireland, there's
yeah,
no real rules, and it's not really dangerous, so it wasn't really a problem at the time.
yeah. It's complicated because you can see a lot of cases that people like the each team crowd like they organize to fight in the streets, you know, and then
Yeah,
a lot of people end up dying.
yeah, that happened.
Maybe even
So the
some,
worst case was I don't know, was it recently? What happened? It was I know it was Cruzeiro and
Santa
Palmeiras.
Cruz.
No, it's not
There
Santa
was
Cruz. It
some
was
of the Santa Cruz, one of the
it's a smaller one as
guys.
well. Santa Cruz and Sport
Yeah,
Recife.
he was like passing by the other team. I don't know, do not know, remember the other team
Sport,
name.
maybe
And
Sporting.
then the organized team got in and raped him,
Oh my God, that's
like
shocking.
with a broom.
Oh my God, that's insane. Those guys are insane.
And
Those are
then
nuts.
people are like just recording from the buildings, you know, seeing everything.
Wow.
It's craziness.
I think the worst one that I saw was it was something to do with Cruzeiro and Palmeiras. I think the Cruzeiro supporters attacked the Palmeiras supporters
Yeah.
and they beat them. And then Palmeiras wanted revenge, so they stopped a Cruzeiro bus and they burnt the bus and started beating all the people on the bus. And I think they killed maybe one guy or two guys. I don't know, but that's
Yeah.
really crazy. But anyway, the police were involved and they could arrest the people because they're kind of dumb, these people too, because they have cameras of themselves. They think
Sure,
they
of
show
course.
themselves beating and attacking people, and then it's like, okay, now we know who they are, which is kind of good because at least you know who they are. And then they give them life
Yeah,
imprisonment or something for fighting. It's so
sure.
stupid. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, today I'll give you. I don't know what we did last time. We did questions on art
We
last
did
time.
about art, yes, that's right.
So, would you like a question? I'll give you an options then, because I'll see what I have.
Okay.
Astronauts, architecture, accidents, Uh, breakfast, insects. I don't know. These ones are not so appealing. Death. We can do death if you want as well.
Yeah. Well, it can be about astronauts. Let's change
Okay.
the subject a
That's
little
actually.
bit.
You know what? That was actually the one I had up. So maybe you have your intuitions working. You
Yeah,
read my
it's
mind.
the
Let's
synergy, you know. Would you like to be an astronaut? Yes, I wished to be an astronaut when I was a kid. You know, always thought that when I got into a spaceship and step on the moon, I will be able to see my home from there. You know.
That's the part where I think is spectacular. I think I was always afraid of being an astronaut, but we don't really have the idea in Ireland of being astronauts because we just saw it wasn't possible for us. Like no one in Ireland's an astronaut.
Yeah,
We think of Americans as astronauts. Japanese people tell me when they were younger they
even
might want to.
Brazilian people. What's the name of the guy again? Mark Ponce, I guess. He was an astronaut.
Oh wow, okay. I don't think we've ever had actually an Irish-born astronaut. I'm going to say we've had lots of Irish astronauts, but
Hmm.
they're Americans. They're really Americans who are Irish descent, right? So we kind of say they're Irish. Like
Sure.
Michael Collins went to the moon, and there was a guy called Scott Glenn. I think he went to the moon too. But
Hmm.
we don't really dream. We don't think about it. So if I ask people maybe from China or people from Turkey, they'll say no, but they thought about being pilots. While
Pilot,
Japanese will say they thought about being astronauts.
being a kamikaze.
Okay, actually, kamikaze. Yeah. Yeah, not anymore. They don't believe in killing anyone. You already answered this one. Did you ever when you were a kid? Okay. So
Like
where
to
would you like to go to
move
first?
into space. Yeah, sure.
Which one's
I
better?
mean, there are some days that you are able to see the moon very clearly. You know, even from I don't know if this is a correct expression from naked eye. You
Yeah, from
know,
the naked eye. Yeah, yeah. Naked eye, that's correct.
and you can see very clear the moon, and you see it, it's very beautiful. I think anyone would like to step on the moon, you know, go get
Well,
into the suits, very big suit.
exactly. But I always think too, only Americans went to the moon. So if you went to the moon, you'd be the first Brazilian, and then you'd be more famous than the
Sure,
guy you said Ponce,
sure,
right?
of course.
That's why I think it's nearly better. And then you can put your little Brazilian flag on the moon. This is my patch.
Yeah,
What kind of people become astronauts?
nerds, of
Nerd.
course. Well,
Yeah,
because if you being realistic, you have to study a lot
you
to
do.
get
You
the
have,
chance to become an astronaut. You
well,
know,
actually, it's not really. You have to study a lot, but you can be in any field. That's what's interesting about
sure.
astronauts. It could be engineers, but you could be a biologist. I don't know who else they're sending up there because they're doing experiments in space. So you can be any kind of field as long as it's in the science field. Um,
Sure.
but also, though, you have to be physically really fit. So you have to do lots and
Yeah,
lots of
as well.
tests. So a lot of astronauts have to prove that they're strong and healthy. And the last part, you actually have to do lots of psychological tests to prove you're not crazy or,
Yeah,
there hasn't been a murder in space. But I
like
think that would be a good book. I'm sure there
psychotic
has
in
been a book already.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will always remember that guy who became like in a time span of 10 years or something like that. He became a SEAL, then he became a doctor, and then he became an astronaut for NASA.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool
And
name.
he's
Yeah.
like a Korean guy, and you can see like that cousin of yours that your mother always tells you about. You know.
Oh yeah, you have to be like him. Uh, I've none of those in my family. They're all down below. None of them are good.
Yeah,
My dad is probably higher than the rest of them. I think because my dad was an optician and a specialist. But all the others were just kind of ordinary. All my mom's side of the family were kind of like Kaipiras.
yeah.
um, I told you my granddad and my great granddad were the butlers for the king. I think I said that to you before, right? Of England.
I don't remember,
Oh,
but
they were butlers. So my great granddad
it's
was the personal butler of the King of England. So
wow,
he traveled all around England with the king. And when the king went abroad, he went with him too.
wow.
That was my great granddad. And my granddad worked for him as a kid, but then as an adult, he did a different job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would
Um,
you like to experience zero gravity and weightlessness?
weightlessness. Yeah, that's hard to say. Weightlessness.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you have those experiences that you got on a plane, then the plane goes into a very high altitude, then he starts just falling down,
Yeah, you
and
can
it
feel it.
creates the sensation of zero gravity, you know.
And also in a funny way, someone told me before, you get a kind of a similar feeling when you're in the water, right? Because you're kind of
Sure,
floating.
yeah,
It
of
feels
course,
weightless,
because
right?
yeah, you feel like you don't have any weight. You just float around. But in the water, I think the experience is a lot of different because of the density of the water, you know.
Yeah, it depends. I can't sink. That's so annoying. I don't know how I just keep floating. Well, it's like I want to dive and I can't dive under the water. It's like, how
Yeah,
do people do that?
yeah.
Um, what do you think are the biggest challenges of being an astronaut?
Well, I believe that you can study a lot and become, like you said, an engineer, a doctor, and something. But I think it's to get in the right into the right institutions, you know, like
Exactly.
because not everyone that studied their entire life very hard and put on the work could become an astronaut for NASA, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how they choose. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
completely clueless. I just know like a lot of them probably got their degrees, or maybe they. I don't know if you need a master or a doctorate degree, and then you have to prove that you're physically really fit. And then you have
Yeah.
to. I don't know who they choose those people, or how people enter the program in the first
Yeah,
place.
perhaps they have the right connections, you know, the right
Right.
friends
That's what I
that
was thinking. Right connections. You know
lend
someone, and you get
a hand.
invited in. And I think in a lot of the early astronauts were pilots as well. They needed because someone had to
Yeah,
fly the plane, so they needed a pilot.
yeah.
Um, what would you think would be the highlights of space travel?
Highlights of space travel. Wow, that's a little, it's a difficult one. Uh,
Yeah, like
I don't really know, but I would say that the highlights, it's just like that you're so far away, just uh, so much apart from the normal human beings that are on
yeah,
Earth that you
I think
feel like you're unique or special or something when
I
you're in space, you know?
sure, yeah, because no one else is there. You feel like you feel so minuscule. And I could charge my computer. One second, it's not coming
Yeah,
on.
it's
But there was a guy, for a lot of people, and for me, I would say is looking at Earth from space. Like you said, from the moon, you can see Earth because we can't see our own planet. So there's an old picture. I think it's from 1959 because it was a satellite, and the satellite showed Earth from space, and it was the first picture of Earth we had. But a lot of astronauts said they had an awe in like an awe moment, or their brain changed completely, like it imploded or exploded when they first were in space and saw Earth, because Earth was so small in compared to
yeah,
the whole universe. They were wondering who we really were. They said it was like a spiritual moment, a spiritual enlightening moment, right?
sure. There are also something that I saw about it, but I don't know if it's true or not. That some of the astronauts who stepped on the moon, after some time when they got to an older age, they start to like get crazy, you know, have mental problems and
Oh wow, I
uh,
didn't know this.
yeah, if you search, I don't know too well, but if you search for some of the astronauts who are still alive, they're not like lucid anymore, you know.
Okay, that's pretty bad then. I didn't know what was happening. Okay, well
I don't
that
know if it's related to the gravity, you know, if you
it
spend
could be. Well,
some time without the proper gravity of the Earth.
yeah,
Well,
and
it can have some effects on the body, but I don't know if it affects in the some mental or
state.
cognition aspect.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe your blood doesn't flow properly when you're in space. We'll have to see with those astronauts who just came back. Remember, they were over 6 or 7 months or 8 months in space.
Yeah,
They
I
came back.
saw that.
So I don't know what will happen with them, but they're going to be tested rigorously to see if there's any bad things wrong with them. But people said they look quite sick.
Yeah, I know that are some normal effects like on the bones. The
Yeah, bone
bones they
density
start to
is
get
more.
weaker because of the gravity. They don't have to support the weight of the body because the gravity is lesser, you know.
Sure,
And
yeah. That's why
also,
they have to exercise. So every time in
yeah,
space, you have to exercise. Is it 2 hours per day or something crazy? They have to do that
yeah, I
exercise.
know that they like are walking or running on treadmill, and
Yeah,
they
maybe
have some I don't
weight.
know something pulling them to the ground.
Yeah,
go
they probably
outside
have
the
weights. Yeah,
treadmill.
I'm pretty sure they
So,
use some sort of weights because otherwise they can't do it. So that's the big issue when they go to space. Um, I was going to ask you the other funny question because when people say they go to the moon, so the question, I think we probably mentioned it before about did they go to the moon or not, right? This is one of the
yeah,
main theories. But there's a film, it's called Capricorn One.
let me
So
see.
this is a really old film, and it has a famous actor. Oh, what's his name? O.J. Simpson. I don't know if you ever heard of O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
So he's famous because he was famous because he was an actor. He was an American football player, and he also what else did he do? Actor, American. Like he was famous
yeah,
because he killed his
he
wife.
was, he was. What's the correct name? The sentence for murder of his wife and
Yeah, he got away with it. Yeah, but he obviously did. It was so crazy. He obviously did it, and he killed another guy. He killed two people. He murdered her, and it was so obviously he murdered them, and he just got away with it. So he was in this film, Capricorn One. But it was this about the fake moon landing, fake moon landing, and that's what's interesting about it. But a lot of people today, I told you, keep thinking that it's a fake moon landing, and one of the main reason it's not just because the technology should always improve, and we should be going back to the moon again and again if we went there in 1969. Um,
Yeah, it's really strange because as technology advances, it would supposed to get easier
yeah,
to
and
do
they can't
certain
prove
things,
it.
and this also gets to the point of going to the moon. But we can also think that if there's not a proper incentive to get to the moon, so why would we get to the moon? There's any
You're right. There's no
point
incentive. Well, we could have an
of
incentive now. The
investment returning?
Well, the incentive now is to see that we can go back there frequently and easily and also build structures on the moon. That's what's interesting. If
Yeah,
you want to go to
makes
Mars or
sense.
something, you can make a structure there. But the problem is that most people say, when you hear anyone talking about the moon, the biggest skepticism is got to do with their radioactive belt. What's the word I'm looking for? Radium. There's an area you can't pass by in space because it will kill you. It's radioactive. You
The
die,
radio, yeah,
and you have to
there's the
pass by that to go to the moon. So people said we never do that. We never, like nowadays, no one goes past that. The only time people have went past that is when they said they went to the moon, but we never go past that otherwise. So why not do that? It's because it will kill you. So I don't know
yeah.
how they solve this issue or someone explains it.
Yeah, the perception I have is that I'm talking about they, like the people who has the money to do that, like, I don't know, perhaps
It's
Elon Musk.
NASA. Yeah, Musk is the only other person. Independent wise, look, it's only America has done it, and
Yeah,
and Musk should be able to do it because he wants to go to Mars. But if he can't go, but I
yeah,
think it's silly. If he wants to go to Mars, he has to go to the moon because
first,
that's
yes,
first.
sure,
It makes
of
no sense.
course.
But the Russians can't do it, and they said the
And
Russians believe they can't go to the moon, and same with the Chinese.
yeah, so continuing, the perception I have, they send like a lot of drones to do researches about the moon's atmosphere, the
Yeah,
ground, if it has water or minerals, something like that. But like you said, perhaps it would have another incentive to send some people there to do those researches and building bases, something like that. This could be possible, but I think it's a little bit far away from our present moment.
it's
I
too.
think it's
That's what's funny. See,
could
you're
not
saying it's.
happen right now. At least 10 years from now,
But
perhaps.
but my point is, Nicholas, this is what's so bizarre. You're saying it's not
Yeah.
ready now,
No.
but
Yes, I understand.
how is it ready in 1969? And again,
Sure.
it's this. We have way superior technology nowadays, so it should be way easier. So no one really knows why. But again, they were supposed to go back to the moon last year. They had two. They canceled two missions, and they're supposed to go this year. I just don't know when it is. I remember looking it up, but that would be fascinating to see if they are going back, because of course, with the new
Yeah.
technology, we should be able to see clearer pictures than ever
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. That's the funny thing as well.
I'll have to see. Actually, I have to look up that when are we going back to the moon?
Yeah. There's also those satellites. I forgot the name, that the one who's very far away from our galaxy. I think it's the Voyager, who take like pictures from other galaxies and stars, planets, constellations, and things.
Yeah, there's the satellites they send out there. Big satellites.
Yeah,
Well, it says now. So this is interesting. So it says in September. So in September 2025, they're going to send the Artemis 2. That's the name of the rocket.
What's it called?
Artemis 2. Artemisia, I guess, in Portuguese. It's a. I was just drinking that tea yesterday. Artemis 2. Artemisia. It's a plant. It's just the name of the spaceship.
Oh, okay, sure.
It'd be interesting though. So if they do go back in September, we'll see it. And if it's going to be, I mean, when they go back, this is going to be live. The whole world's going to stop again to see this. It will be a big moment to see them going back to the moon. You know?
Yeah. I remember also when they launched that James Webb satellite. You know,
the new one.
They promised to have like very clear images. I remember. I remember at the time that people started talking about a lot about this. I don't know if it's like a
telescope,
telescope mixed with a satellite. I don't know what's the definition of it.
Yeah, it's the telescope. Yeah, more than the satellite. It's the James Webb one was the new one because you used to have the Hubble, right? It was the Hubble, and then they changed it to the new one, and the new one was like so much more powerful, right? You could see everything with the new one. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Everything was more detailed. Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, everything's they don't know what's in space though either. Like they said they have something like 90. They don't know what 96% of space is. They say it's like they have this word, they call it dark matter or dark material. They don't know what it is. So it's so crazy. We never know what it is. So
it'd be like a void almost. Yeah,
it's a void. We don't know what we don't know. So it's so crazy how much we don't know, even if we study everything.
And it's hard to have the same laws of physics like gravity and stuff applied to this void, perhaps, you know.
I don't know how it works. I mean, they don't know how it works, so we don't know how it works.
The speed of light travels in the same speed in this void. It's some questions like that will probably will take a long time to get answered, you know.
Yeah, we will never get it. Yeah, I don't know. We're so slow. We have to have all those people studying. I don't even know. I think that's the hardest thing to understand. Again, when I listen to people doing podcasts, the people I don't understand the most are astrophysicists. They leave me baffled. I don't know what they're talking about because they have so many terms that I've never heard of, and then they have other terms inside the terms. I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm too far behind.
Yeah. Could you date or marry an astronaut? Well, it's hard to say, you know, because like those guys, that men and women who got stuck in space for many months. I don't remember how many months.
I don't remember either. That's why I'm confused. I don't remember either. Maybe it was 8 months.
It was like 7-8 months. Well, if you're married to a person like that, then you know. When you need her and she's in space.
Yeah, darling, I'm hungry. Where's my tea?
Yeah.
Where's my feijoada? I'm not getting any. Well, there's always a good thing if you don't.
It's hard to have a relationship with someone like that, you know.
Sure, and especially if they have to do so much intensive training. But I mean, you know, some astronauts marry each other. I'm pretty that happy. I think the astronaut in space, the one who went to space, I'm pretty sure her husband was an astronaut. That woman, I'm not quite sure. I think it was her anyway. So yeah, they get stuck in space.
Yeah, it's like dating a celebrity, you know.
No, it probably well. That's why they break up so much, and celebrities break up with celebrities all the time. They can't deal with each other.
It's hard. It's too much exposure, you know.
Well, actually, there's something else where people break up a lot too, and it's people who work on rigs, oil rigs or gas rigs.
Yeah,
because they might be gone.
I saw an opportunity about that. That was like you work 21 days.
Longer. Wow, that's 3 weeks.
You get to the oil platform. You work 21 days in a row. Then you get to rest 14 days. In a row.
Then
it's like in this format: 21 days, 14 days of rest.
Yeah, a lot of people can't do that though. They get stressed because
they receive a lot of money. I saw this opportunity.
They're excellent pay. But
some guy telling about it. It's like he would receive like, I don't know, like perhaps $20,000 per month.
Yeah, they can do that in America.
A lot.
But I guess the stress is that people work all the time, and then they can't turn off because when they go home, then they got nothing to do and they're bored. For those 2 weeks, they can't relax. There's
Yeah,
something like that.
I
They don't
think
know
it
how to get
really
it going.
depends, because when perhaps, for example, you are very well rewarded with the money, so you have a lot of options to do. You can travel, you
Sure.
can spend the time with your family, with your wife, kids, something like that. So, but also you have this point because it's a very stressful work.
It
So
can
when
be.
you're trying to rest on your free time, I think it's a little bit difficult to just turn it off.
Mhm.
The other environment.
Yeah, that's what I think. If you're on turned on all the time, my brother-in-law did that. That was his job. So he was week on, week off. So he would go for a week on the rigs offshore. But when he had his week off, they'd still call him because he was like a manager, and he was one of those. Let's say he was one of those naturally gifted engineers, so he could fix things without seeing things. So they would just constantly call him, and he got really annoyed with his job because he's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be working on my time off." And it just
Yes,
became really annoying because they just keep calling him with the problems.
yeah, that's a problem when you're very, very talented.
Yeah,
Very,
everyone wants you.
you become almost like you are very necessary, like you're indispensable.
Yeah, that's what happened with
Uh,
him
I
in this.
I see other people as well on the company I work for. They are how can I say, um, so indispensable that they could like tell our boss, the director, to fuck off, and nothing would happen because
Sure, that's a possibility.
they're
Yes.
indispensable.
Yeah, my brother-in-law would be the same then because my brother-in-law he actually didn't even go to the top university because listen, he wasn't good at
Wow,
languages, but so because if you want to go to the top one, you have to be good at everything. But he was
sure.
brilliant at maths and physics, so he only got a diploma, not a degree. So he couldn't get a job. So he worked for himself because no one would hire him because he didn't go to the top university. But he could fix everything. He could visualize the problem and fix the problem, and he fixed something for a big company, and then they gave him a job. They're like, "Oh, you can do everything. How come you can do everything?" Because a lot of these people might just know what the problem is, but they can't fix it. So he
Hmm.
could fix it and theorize the problem. So he got a job in this place, and within maybe less than 6 months he became the manager, even though he was
Wow.
less educated because he didn't have his degree, master's or doctorate,
Yeah.
and he became the
Uh,
manager. So it shows that it doesn't matter sometimes if you just study and know theory if you can't apply it.
Yeah, and that's the point, because I see that a lot of people put so much value on degrees, and nowadays, like knowledge is available to anyone, like
Yeah,
almost limited in the internet. So the point is about who is curious enough to go after the knowledge and
that's true.
really comprehend their topic of interest and to explain and
Apply. Yeah, it's really applying
yeah,
what you know.
apply it
Because,
in other situations.
but I also depends on your gift. Like I cannot do engineering. I just know my brain doesn't. I find it so boring.
Sure.
I tried to even do coding. I was like, I hate this. It's not working for my brain. But
Yeah,
if you give me a history book, I can work. It works for my brain. I'll remember it. Or a geography book, I'll remember it. But I
sure.
can't do it for other things. So it just depends on the field. But I think you're quite lucky. I think people who do engineering are the luckiest because that's really a physical thing that It's a real good hard skill. Um,
Yeah. For example, when I was in college, I did not everything that I use nowadays, and the topics I know about a little bit more, like economics, politics. I learned all by myself, apart from college. So college was simply more of a just a diploma. Just to present to other people that I really got graduated. And I think this is the point. If you can study by yourself, understand completely, fully the topic you're trying to learn, and to apply this to other situations where you can other people can see you as an authority, it's uh, it's uh, mm, it's much more worth it.
mhm. No, I agree. Okay. Have to improve. Um, what do you think astronauts worry about?
Worry about.
getting stuck in space
Yeah,
now. That's the new one. It's like, I don't want to
I
go to
was about
space
to say
anymore.
that.
8 months. 8 months. My God.
Yeah, that's a lot of time if you think about it. I just imagine, and you have to do the same routine every day, like you said, doing the 2 hours of exercise, eating those kind of foods that
Yeah, play
just
in
on the
tubes.
tubes. Yeah, right. So I think it's like
Going to the toilet on yourself.
I
They
don't
have to
know,
use
and
Frelda.
you
That's
panic a little bit, you know.
how do they? The thing is, they have to use a nappy or a diaper. Americans say diaper, we say nappy, a Fralda, right? They can't,
Yeah.
but they don't have showers either. So I mean, how did they really
No,
clean themselves? They use wipes.
I saw an astronaut. He's called Chris Redfield. He's a Canadian guy, and he used to do this type of videos on YouTube about
Mm.
how astronauts go to the bathroom, how they clean themselves, how they drink water. And I remember they all the stuff that they had to go like go to the bathroom. They stored this all the feces, the piss, and everything
All
on a
right. Okay.
compartment on the ship. And then when they come back to the Earth, they find a place to dispose it. You know.
Oh, they do dispose. I was wondering. I was thinking they were shooting it into space, Nicholas. I thought they put their poo in the little
No, of course not.
and then the poo is floating around the universe, and then some
Yeah.
alien species find it, and they're like, "What is this?"
Yeah, because if you throw it in space, it wouldn't. What's the name? Decompose. I don't remember.
Decompose. Yeah.
Decompose. Yeah, that's right.
Mm, just stay there. Decomposed poo. Okay.
Yeah, it would freeze.
Freeze.
Frozen feces.
There you go. Yeah, nice. That'd be wonderful. That's what the aliens will find from us. Okay.
Uh,
Do
the-
you think it would get boring in space?
yes, a little bit. Even if you're stuck in a very long time, even if you're just like going for a research, it sounds like very boring. Like you have, I will remember that movie from Matt Damon that he's stuck on Mars and
Yeah, The Martian. Yeah, that is a
he
different name in
tries to
Portuguese.
growing plants on that thing from glass, that dome. I don't
Yeah,
know.
at least he had something to do. At least he was making. At least he was like could make his potatoes.
Sure, sure. But also, it is somewhat boring.
Of course, yeah, he's by himself. He can't do anything. You listen to the same music, same food. Yeah, I think it would get boring in space too. I think the novelty would like after like maybe a couple of days, like anything else, it would just like, oh, I'm stuck in space.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
but
Let me go home.
seeing from another perspective, you could write a book, about your journey and just how can I say, enhancing it much more, making much more entertaining.
Yeah, you can. That's what I was thinking too. You can always bring up books, and they have TV. I've seen a guy watching TV in space. He was watching a rugby match. I was like, okay, that's not so
What?
bad.
Okay.
How important is the job of an astronaut? This one's a funny question too, because I actually don't know what they're doing. I looked up this answer to this
Me
question,
neither.
and they did say they do important research, and it's like, what is? They don't actually
Yeah,
elaborate what
what is
they're doing.
this research?
So I think,
Because we're not getting off the planet. We're not like terraforming Mars and colonizing it.
yeah, we haven't done it. But I think the more important thing is not actually what the astronauts are doing; it's what the engineers are doing in Earth to make the rockets to live in
Yeah.
space. I think that's way more important. I'm more interesting.
Well, if you see from another perspective, like those rockets from Elon Musk,
Yeah.
he made a lot of how can I say, new inventions, like those rockets who can return back to the base without exploding. So
Yeah.
I think in the aspect of engineering are some advancements that probably would help humanity in other aspects of engineering. But
Yeah,
it's hard to tell because
everything's related. Yeah.
from my perception, it's hard to tell because we don't see those creations, those innovations, affect directly our
Our lives. Yeah.
yeah.
They will. They might do in the future. Like we do make faster and faster planes, and maybe they're safer and safer, and maybe they can
Hmm.
land differently. Like we might need a big runway. They'll just come down
Yeah,
and just land vertically. It'll be
perhaps
easier.
apply this to trains, like those trains from in Japan that
Yeah,
are
bullet trains. They're called. Yeah,
yeah,
bullet.
that's right.
Uh, Yeah, Elon Musk was doing something like that too. I don't. It was another one of his projects that he never finished. It was some sort of weird.
I remember.
It was something like it was like a train, but it wasn't a train, and he could use. It was like a pod that's like it works the same system as a train. I don't know if it was done with magnetics, and it was to like speed
Yeah,
even faster.
yeah.
If you were offered a job to be an astronaut, would you take it?
Well, it's hard to say because what would I do if I became an astronaut?
And
Would I
go to
directly
space
go to
for a flight suit.
space? Would I do researches here
You could do your computer
on Earth?
programming.
Just like being an engineer.
Yeah, maybe you do the same. You could just do it from
Well,
space.
if it's
I could
like
teach
that,
you
I think I
English.
would accept this offer, but I don't know. It's hard to tell because, for example, like we said, about being hard marrying or dating an astronaut, having a relationship with an astronaut. It's hard for your family.
Yeah, but if you're only up there for 2 months and that was it, and you come back
Oh, two
again,
months is it's an okay time.
yeah, maybe you don't go up again. So I think it'd be
Yeah.
they pay you a lot of money. That's the best part in dollars.
What
Uh,
kinds of feelings and emotions do you think you would have on the morning of a journey into space? It's almost like running a marathon.
oh, you feel the same? I would
Yeah,
I wouldn't like it. I'm going to tell you, I'd be terrified. I don't like roller coasters, so I'm going to tell you, I'd have butterflies in my stomach. I'd
yeah,
feel
it's
sick
it's
and
the same
anxious and stressed.
feeling. It's like the feeling that you're going to do something big.
But I'm
And
gonna no, but I'm gonna feel like I'm going to do something where I'm going to die. You're not going to die in the marathon, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something big, that when you probably the emotion that an astronaut feel, it's like he's going to do something that no one in his family or in his lineage ever done, or in his I don't know, it's perhaps something special.
Yeah, I'm guessing for
It's
some
just
people. Yeah,
something
well,
big.
I'm sure for the astronauts themselves, they probably love it. They're probably really
Sure.
excited and they're euphoric. This is what I lived for. With me,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, don't send me to space, please. Okay. What small personal item would you take with you on a journey into space?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps a book, a very big one.
Now you can put like 10, you can put
Yeah.
20 books on your phone. So that's what I've run 20 books on my phone. So
Bring a Kindle.
yeah, it will work. So it's like I don't know if we could have recharge it in space. That's the only problem.
Yeah, probably. What's the name? I don't remember tomadas. What's the name in English for tomadas?
Plug
Plug. Yeah, I
or
don't know if
socket.
in the spaceship have plugs,
That's what I was
to.
thinking too. I don't know how they charge it. They said you can kind of make it work in space. You can't call someone, but certain things work in space on the phone, as far as I remember. I looked it up once.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have the personality to be an astronaut? I believe yes, but not perhaps the technical skills, yet.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm not an engineer, so I don't think I do. I don't know. I don't think I'm an engineering person. So I think I'd be
Yeah,
weird. I wouldn't fit in. I don't know. Like I had a Japanese guy this morning, and he was a surgeon. I had a Japanese surgeon this morning, and I made a
yeah.
joke. I made a joke with him. I was like, "Oh, your name's Hero. So are you a superhero with any special powers?" And he was like, "No, I do not have any special powers." I was like, I don't think he understood that I was joking with him. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's one of the serious ones." Okay. But he
Space walks.
booked for me again. Okay. What do you think when you see men? Oh, we already answered this one because we were talking about was it fake? Did they
Yeah,
give
it's
you?
more easy to think about someone doing a moonwalk.
Yeah, the moonwalk, the Michael Jackson. Someone told me something fantastic the other day. I was talking to a guy, and I said he was a patent lawyer or a patent lawyer, and he
Yeah.
said, "Do you know Michael Jackson had a patent for his shoes?
Wow.
He had
Yeah,
special shoes."
yeah, I saw that. What's
Oh,
the
right.
name
I
of
did never do that.
the shoes just grab it on to so he can just lean in and not
Yeah,
fall.
that's how he can lean forward. I thought it was magic. I thought that was his special way of dancing. Now I didn't realize it was shoe. I said
Yeah.
it to my wife. My wife's like, "That's not true. Michael Jackson's a great dancer." I was like, "No, he sent me the proof." Yeah, she needs the proof.
Uh,
Okay.
would you rather have a male or female commander on a first trip into space? I don't know. I don't know what difference would it make.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't
I
think
don't
so
know what's
either. But in Saudi Arabia, they'd be like, "A man,
of
definitely a
course,
man.
men.
There would be a
I will
woman.
not accept
She would,
women's.
she would crash the rocket into the moon." Yeah, it's kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, if you
Uh,
spend 6 months
if
in
you,
space, what would you do first when you came back to Earth? See my family.
yeah,
I
eat
think
some
it's the
food,
best
sit
thing
on a
anyone
toilet,
would do, you
lie in
know?
a bed, have a shower. I think all those things that you can
Yeah,
do.
enjoy gravity.
I'd eat some chocolate. Yes. Okay. I think you probably can eat chocolate in space, though. Okay.
What do you do?
What would
What
you
do you
say to an alien
essentially?
if you met one in space?
I bring peace.
I bring peace. Oh, that's good. They wouldn't believe you. They're like, you're from Brazil. They're going to rob my phone.
Yeah,
I
but
bring
they
peace.
would have to know Brazil very well, you know. They do
Yeah, they
not.
wouldn't know. They wouldn't know anything about us. Yeah, that's what I always think. Imagine if the aliens landed in Afghanistan or something, or landed in a favela. We get a surprise. Which country do you think will be the first to send astronauts to Mars?
Oh, probably China or United States, yeah.
Yeah, more than likely we'll say United States, only because they're the only ones who are trying to do the project with Elon Musk. But
Yeah,
I do think China want to improve their space program, and even India right now. I heard from India they were trying to improve their space program too. It's just that they're poor, but they have a lot of good engineers. But
yeah,
that was
but
what
it's a little bit hard because you can see that Elon Musk, it's very immersed in politics, you know.
yeah, that's the silly part.
You feel
Don't
like,
put together.
we can feel like that he's a little bit apart from the companies. Of course, he's not gonna just forget about Tesla and other things, but I think he's more immersed now into politics, you know.
Yeah, he's like in six different things at once. I don't know how he's thinking. Yeah, he's gone a bit mad. I don't know. I don't know what he's going, but that's what those like people are like, creative geniuses.
Yeah.
So this question is not on astronauts, but I've changed the topic to aliens, but it's kind of similar. So we'll keep it the same
Yeah,
theme,
well,
okay?
it's hard to say. I think I don't remember the name of the paradox. It's like, I think it's Fermi's paradox. I don't
Okay.
remember the theory
Fermi.
very well, but
I don't know this
it's
one.
almost like saying that the universe is too big to don't have any other races besides humans. And in both cases, even if we are alone in the universe or we are not alone in the universe, both ones are very scary, you know.
Mm.
I think it's
Yeah. Yeah,
Fermi's.
yeah. I just looked it up now. Yeah, it's a contradiction. This is what it says. A contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial civilizations existing and the lack of evidence of their existence,
Yeah,
prompting the
that's right.
question if there are
Exactly.
any many potential planets and stars where are all the aliens. Well, I think it's the same. I think, well, the possibility is really high because the
Sure, of
probability
course
of
it
us
is.
being the only planet with intelligent life would be crazy, you know? So again, if because like a lot of scientific people will say don't believe in God, but if they believe in science, they have to believe there's other planets because it would be more logical. It's just that they could be so far away we can't see them. That's the big problem. Our different galaxies, and the other reason would be they probably don't have technology like us. Like as we said, we can't go to space very well, so they don't have it either. But they have found lots of those planets. They're called, oh, what are they called? They're planets in the Goldilocks zone. I don't know if you've heard of that
Hmm.
before. The Goldilocks is a famous fairy tale, but it's called the Goldilocks zone. So it means planets that are the right distance from their star to have life. So some of those planets can be really big, some of them can be really small, and same with the stars can be really big or small. Some of the stars are like dwarf stars. So it
Yeah,
just depends. So they'll say it's the right distance that can have some sort of life. It can have water, but it doesn't mean there could be like people. It might be a little bit too hot or a little bit too cold. Or in some regions, it can be really cold, like Earth. It could be freezing. But in the middle area, they believe they could have like some enough to have life. So they found those They have found planets with Goldilocks zones. And as far as I don't know why I have this in my head. There's a place called Alpha Centauri. I don't know. I think it might be a dwarf planet, and I think it's next to a dwarf star. But they said if there's life, it might be on this planet more. That's the
yeah.
nearest one to us. But they don't know either. So again, it's the same. I just think that um, maybe they're not as advanced like we are,
Hmm.
and also maybe they are advanced, and then they don't want to come here because they see us like ants. They're like, leave that little planet there because they're crazy. They have nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
you know.
There's also this theory called great filter. They call it, it's
Great
like
filter.
possibilities that a civilization goes through when trying to advance, like being a more advanced civilization.
Yeah, it could happen too. Yeah, and it's linked with the Fermi paradox.